Welcome back to the Hillbilly RV channel. Today, working on this fifth wheel behind me here. There is no AC power inside the coach. Customer called me a couple weeks ago, and the weather was just too nasty to get up here. And I said, it's probably one of two things. I said it's probably either the short cord scorched on the end, because this has a detachable short cord, or it's the transfer switch. He said the power went out. When power come back, no power in the coach. I've seen these transfer switches get confused when there's a power outage. You know what caused that? Don't really know. But I tried to talk him through it, and he said it can't be the short cord because it's the lights, the little blue LED lights burning on the end. I said, well, you need to unplug it, look at it. I said, it's either there or the transfer switch, and they couldn't find a transfer switch. So I'm going to see if I can find it today. I bet I can, or I bet I won't quit till I find it. I've been here just a few minutes, and I've already checked the short cord. Short cord is fine. Both ends look great, and because now short cords those detachable short cords are famous for the receptacle on the side of the camper is scorching one of the contacts, and causes a lot of problems. So if it seems like it's the people that live in them or just leave them parked somewhere and just leave them plugged in. I don't know, they get a bad connection there. It starts getting hot, and then it gets a worse connection, and it gets hotter, and before you know it, it's all burnt up and don't work anymore, and you have to replace the short cord and the receptacle, or at least buy a new receptacle and replace the end on the short cord. So like I say, the short cord's fine. Let's go see if we can find the transfer switch and see if we can figure out what's going on here. Most modern fifth wheels, most of your electronics live right in here. Hopefully the transfer switch is in there, and probably your converter and inverter is probably in there as well. But we need to move some stuff over and start taking that wall down and look in there and see what we see. There's a little panel right here. I'm gonna pull it down. I think it's just a vent. Look back in there. Yeah, it's a vent for the converter. So there's our converter. Let's see if I can see anything else. The transfer switch may not live in here. It may live somewhere else. Let me look up front here. I was wrong. It lives up front. Well, at least we only took 4 screws out here. I think it's funny. I thought he told me they couldn't find the transfer switch, but the cover's off of it. So here is our transfer switch. How do I know that? Because it says transfer switch right there. It's a Furion. It's a 50 amp. It's an automatic transfer switch. Here's our legend. So tells me short cord's down here on the lower right. Y'all can see that. The generator is the upper right, and our line out, which is our power going to our power distribution panel inside, is upper left. So let's start checking some powers here and see what's up. All right, hopefully you can see that. We've got our meter on the AC scale. Get a ground right there. This is supposed to be our short cord. Let's see, all right, 121. 121, so we got power coming in. This is supposed to be, this should be the out over here. And we have no power coming out of the transfer switch. 32 volts. So it would come through this contactor up to here, and then it goes over to your power distribution panel inside. So now this is like a contactor. What is a contactor? If any of you have ever fooled with contactors before, all you do is push this in and it should make contact. All right, this one is not. Okay, is it because this thing does not have a generator? It is generator ready. Okay, that contactor is not in, but this one is. Oh, you know what? That contactor kind of feels, it almost feels burned up. Let me go unhook the short cord, kill the power to this thing, and see if we can get that contactor to pop out. Alright, I have unplugged the short cord. Let's see if we can get this contactor to pop out. You know what? That contactor is out and it won't go in. So there is something awry there. Let me go plug the short cord back in. Did y'all watch? Did that transfer switch move when I plugged the short cord out? We'll check his neutral real quick. That's something that I tend to forget way too much, is to check my neutral when I'm checking power. It's just one of my very few faults. I don't have many faults, but that's one of them. A lot of times I forget to check my neutrals. Okay. 121, so neutral's good, so that's not our issue. That contactor does not move at all. See how that one goes in? See? This one doesn't move. It's burnt up internally, so it is time for a transfer switch, and hopefully a model F50 ATS is still available, because these wires are pretty short and they're pretty stiff. So it is a huge plus if you have to replace your transfer switch, is to get the exact same model. That way all your wires reach. It's just as simple, you know, I probably won't even do a video on it. It's just simple as taking all your wires loose, knowing where they go back, taking the switch off the wall, put it back on, hook your wires up, boom, you're done. So oh yeah, they don't even have any wires on the generator, because this RV, this fifth wheel is generator ready. It just does not have the generator. That's going to be that on this one. Need to get a transfer switch, and these folks are not living in this. If they were living in it, I would take the wires loose from the contactor, from the short cord, and just wire nut them together with the wires going to the panel box, so that they could continue to live here. But they're not living here, so we're just going to get a transfer switch, and then we'll switch it out. I wrapped up completely on that transfer switch. Put all my tools away, shut the camper back up. Got to the truck, checked on the new transfer switch, and actually it had been superseded by a different number, so I didn't even look at it. I got thinking while I was sitting there, I was like, because the customer wasn't there at the time, and I hadn't actually spoke to him at all that day yet. And I'm like, I've worked for this guy for, 3 or 4 times now, and I'm thinking, now what would I think that this guy would want me to do? He's got a transfer switch. There's really no reason to have a transfer switch because he does not have an onboard generator. It's only generator ready. And I'm like, does he want to wait another week, pay another trip charge for me to come up and change out a transfer switch that he doesn't really need? And I thought, no, I don't think he would want that. So I'm going to show you what I did. I did not video it because, like I say, I had already put my tools up, put my camera up, locked the truck up, was going to leave, and then decided, no, I'm going to do what I think this guy wants me to do. And then I talked to him later, and it was the right thing. But before we do that, this is the 1,000 piece puzzle that the basket case pop-up people gave me. I said in that video, it was like working a puzzle, putting that camper back together. Well, they brought us this puzzle. Me and Mrs. Hillbilly put it together over a few week period. I don't know if we're puzzlers or not, but we did put it together. We did preserve it, and Mrs. Hillbilly, I think, is going to take this to work with her and hang it on her office wall. So just wanted to show you that. Pretty cool puzzle. I thought it was a nice gesture. I thought it was sweet of them to bring us a puzzle. So if you will remember, when we were looking at that transfer switch, the short cord came in the lower right hand side of this, and now I'm assuming, and now in my viewfinder it's backwards, but everything's backwards in this viewfinder. But anyhow, lower right hand corner is where the short cord came in to the contactor, and it actually kind of looped around here. But your load, which goes from the transfer switch to your power distribution panel, came in up here and went to this contactor. So there was plenty of wire to, I just took these 3 wires off this contactor, these 3 wires off this contactor, put them together with big blue wire nuts, black to black, white to white, red to red, done. Okay? And then, like I said, I did call the gentleman in and say, here's what I found and here's what I've done. He says, perfect, because in about a week we have to move back into the camper. So that worked out perfect. He didn't have time to wait on a transfer switch. Doesn't need a transfer switch. If he decides in the future to put an onboard generator on this, it's set up for an ONAN. The transfer switch actually wasn't very much, less than $300. So, if he buys a generator, installs a generator, he'll just have to buy a transfer switch at that time and put a new transfer switch in. If he never puts a generator in it, does not need it. So we just bypassed it. The world is good. So now back to the video. So as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to go down to the bottom here in the show notes, in the description, and look at all the links going on down there, all kinds of stuff going on down there. If you guys and gals, if you've gained any value from my videos, consider either going to the PayPal or the Patreon link and show me some love there. Would sure help. Is this, doing these videos takes real time that I could be somewhere else making money. So it takes real money to make these things. So if you all could help me out, that would be greatly appreciated. If you can't, I appreciate you just the same. So thank y'all very much. I'm going to go down the road and fix another one, and y'all have a fantastic day.